This Transformers 96 series on the video review. This time we have the Wonder Woman, the training armor version from Hot Toys. Yeah, so just talking about this newly shown Hot Toys figure. This is quite nice. I was, very unsure of what figures would be produced from the Wonder Woman movie, considering I didn't really think any of the side characters realistically would be made by Hot Toys, so that only left Wonder Woman. There's a classic Wonder Woman already on pre-order for Batman v Superman, so it was, I wasn't sure what would be made, but we now know that we officially have a Themyscira Wonder Woman. I do still hope that they make a classic Wonder Woman as well. The first, my big issue with both of these Wonder Woman figures is the fact that they use completely rubber bodies, which looks great. It really does. It looks fantastic, and obviously, considering Wonder Woman, isn't wearing anything at the shoulders, elbows, or knees, it makes sense why they do this. However, just from a practical standpoint, it will seriously limit articulation, and then as well as it can damage very easily in the future. It could easily crack and just dry out and really just be destroyed after several years. So I really would much prefer visual joints. I know that they're not as great to look at. However, they're just more practical, and they're going to provide better articulation, and they will be resistant. They obviously won't crack or anything like that in the future, which the rubber certainly can. So that's my big issue. However, it is nice to see that they can actually, we finally see the rubber body being articulated with all of the preview images for the Wonder Woman figure from Batman v Superman. She was standing in a completely straight up and down position. There was no pose with her whatsoever in any of the photos. This one, we obviously have actual poses of her in each shot, which is quite nice, and I definitely like that. So you can see that the articulation is pretty good. However, some angles, particularly when you see the elbows bent from the side, it does look odd because obviously the rubber kind of bunches up. You can see right there that just looks a little strange. So it's not very natural, unfortunately. But I do think that this version of Wonder Woman does look quite nice. I think that it's very cool in the movie, and I am glad that we are getting it. Her costume itself does look quite good. Obviously, you can see all that good detail in the torso section, as well as on the straps, which look very nice. Her bracelets look very cool as well, and you do get a separate set, as you can see here, that are kind of being kind of lit up when she uses it in the movie, and it sends like a shockwave out, and they kind of glow like an orangey yellow. So it is nice that she does come with an extra set of those. She comes with the sword and the shield, which I think look very nice, very well detailed. And I do really love the fact that the sword actually does have a little base piece that it can be stored in, as you can see right there. As well, she comes with a bow and arrows. She doesn't use those very often in the movie. I think only when she's doing that one training scene she actually uses them. So I could have seen them not include those, but it is nice that they do include them. And then the head sculpt of the figure, this one is kind of argued by people. For me personally, I think it looks pretty solid. As far as the face is concerned itself, I love the expression. I think it's a perfect expression. It's very serious. I like the fact that her mouth is open slightly. It does really represent Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman in the movie, so I'm a big fan of what's happening in the face there and the expression that they chose to go with. Now, the issues that a lot of people are having is that it looks kind of cone-ish cone-headed-ish, because obviously the hair kind of goes up quite high and kind of to a point, so it gives her face a really elongated look, which is definitely disappointing, and it is something that is noticeable. I don't think it's terrible, but it is something that's there, which is unfortunate. Would have been nicer if they fix the shape of the head slightly more. However, I don't feel that it's a big issue. I've also heard people say that the face itself, just the details on the face, look too big, that the eyes, nose, and mouth should be slightly smaller in comparison to the head. That's something I don't see terribly much. Like, I kind of get what they're saying, but it doesn't look that bad for me personally. So overall, I like this head sculpt. I don't think it's perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think that it is better than the Batman v Superman one, and I would love to see this type of head sculpt use, like the face of this head sculpt to use with her regular hair if they do a regular version of Wonder Woman from this movie. That would be really nice. I think that would be a solid fix, because obviously that would get rid of the cone head type of look, and then I think that this face sculpt is an improvement over the Batman v Superman, so I think it would just be the best of both worlds, and I do hope that we get that. Speaking of that, I really do hope we get another Wonder Woman figure with visible joints. Now, I think think that it is a possibility, considering they're going to want to make another Wonder Woman figure in a classic costume different than the Batman v Superman one, and so, having visible joints is a nice way to make it different, as well as it could be a logical thing to do considering if they give her her black coat. So it's like, you can use the black coat and then obviously all the joints would be covered, but if you take the black coat off, you'd still have the visible joints underneath. That would be wonderful, and that's something that I would absolutely get, because I do very much want a Wonder Woman figure, but it's not worth spending, $235 to get a Wonder Woman figure that I will be so delicate with I wouldn't even move, because I'm so afraid that in the future, it'll crack and be destroyed. So I don't plan to get this, even though I do think that it looks very nice. If it had visible joints, I might even consider this version of Wonder Woman, because I think it's very cool. But considering it's all rubber, it's not worth it for me personally. It has gone on pre-order. It's $235, which is the same price as the Batman v Superman Wonder Woman. So it's on par with that. It's a little hard to compare this one with other figures because of the rubber body. I don't know if that's just more expensive to produce or anything like that, but it looks like a slightly high price for this figure. But if the rubber body does cost a bit more, then I can kind of understand it. Its estimated arrival is between April and June of 2018, so a little less than a year out, which is fairly far. Would have been nice if it was slightly closer. And then just finishing off with the accessories here, I did talk about some of the weapons. She also comes with a nice supply of hands. One of the hands looks really good and pretty perfect for holding the arrows, which I think is very nice. And then her base, I like a lot. I think just the base piece itself looks very nice. It's in that same, Suicide Squad type of shape. It has a really nice Wonder Woman logo on the left there, and then I love the stars on the other side, and the stars are kind of protruding from the borders of the base, which I think looks very cool. And then the backdrop is very nice as well. It's, kind of on the hill overlooking the beach when Trevor's plane, crashes into the ocean. So I think that that's a nice backdrop, and I'm very happy that they're doing backdrops, although I wish they constructed them differently. They feel very cheap. It would be nice if they actually used some plastic hinges so that, the like legs of the base would stay onto the backdrop itself. That would be quite nice. But anyway, I really do like the looks of these backdrops that they are doing. Really hope that we get a standard Wonder Woman figure from this new movie as well. I don't think that there's any chance that we'll get any of the other characters like Hippolyta, Trevor, or Ares, although I would love Ares. There's no chance of it. So overall, very much like this new figure, but don't plan to get it myself. Really crossing my fingers that we do get a Wonder Woman figure in a classic costume with visible joints sometime in the future. As soon as that happens, I will pre-order it definitely. Let me know what you guys think of this figure, and thanks so much for watching.